Hey, what's up, guys? Bradley here. Welcome to Atheists in Recovery. I'm starting this channel because I'm an atheist and I also happen to be an addict. I'm in recovery, remission. Um, and as an atheist, I find myself with a lot of unique problems. One of them being is the 12 step programs. They're complete bullshit. Not only are they bullshit, they're dangerous. Um, They want you to believe in a higher power, a God, to remove a disease, the disease of addiction. The scientific and medical community consider addiction to be a brain disorder and a mental illness, so it's a brain disease. And since there is no God, you will not be cured or go into remission, is a better word. You're not really cured from addiction, but you can go into remission from disease, sort of like cancer. A lot of people say, well, addiction isn't a disease, cancer is a disease. No one, you chose to be an addict. And I could argue against that because I didn't choose to be an addict. Um, I have a lot of friends that I grew up with drinking beer, my brothers, a lot of them have trauma. I have trauma. I'm the only one that came out with addiction. My brothers don't have addiction disorder, and none of my friends that I grew up with doing the same things. So I could argue that I did not choose to be an addict. That doesn't mean I'm not responsible for my choices, but I didn't choose to be an addict. Um, as an atheist, I really struggle with finding any sort of help or community, atheist community where I live. There's nothing but 12 step programs. And so, what I want to focus on this channel is the science behind addiction and what us as atheists can do to recover and go into remission. I'm going to go through a lot of things from the Smart Recovery Handbook. If you haven't heard of Smart, I would Google it if you're an addict, and they can send you some books if they don't have groups in your area, like they do not in mine. A little bit about me: I grew up in the Mormon cult. I saw at a pretty young age that it was bullshit because my mom was Mormon, my dad was not. So, because my dad didn't go through all these rituals and bullshit, he couldn't get into the Mormon heaven. Which means when I died or die, he won't be there if I died as a good Mormon. And I could see right through that that's complete bullshit. Who would want to believe in a God like that anyway? Fuck that. But it took me a long time to de-brainwash. I've been an atheist for about the last decade or so. I'm in my 40s now. And yeah, I'm going to focus on the science behind addiction on this page and what we can do as atheists to help each other with the disease of addiction. The first thing I'm going to look at is positive affirmations. I've been working on that. Instead of calling myself a piece of shit every day, I wake up and I tell myself I'm a good person, I'm smart, whatever negative things that I think about myself. That's the very first thing I do every single day. And that's been scientifically proven to change the pathways in your brain and change the way you think about yourself. If you keep telling yourself you are a good person, you will believe it eventually. And you can learn to love yourself. Also, I'm going to talk about the struggles of being an atheist also in the community of us addicts and how damaging. I was in AA and NA for several years. I saw very little success. They say it's not religious, but it actually is very religious, very Christian. I got a sponsor, did all that. My sponsor pressured me to go to church. They did this thing every Thursday where everybody in the AA and NA would go to this church, and they would have baptisms of people who have been sober for a week. Um, and I would see these people a few months later on the corner just trashed, selling themselves for junk and just dead. Some of them die. A lot of them do die. And that's why I'm making this channel, because a lot of us are dying, us addicts. So if you live in a town like me with no smart recovery or non-religious groups or resources for addiction, that's why I'm making this channel. So if you guys have any ideas for me or want to talk about anything, let me know. I'm going to get this up and going, and it's all going to be scientifically based. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and welcome to air. Remember to breathe, okay?